G'day winner. Now stop trying to motivate your team. Stop trying to go out there and pump up their tires to let them just ease away and empower your team instead. I hear you say, what's the difference between motivation and empowering? It's really, really simple. I spent 18 years as a dentist, and there are a lot of great lessons that being a dentist trained me in growing great businesses as well. Here's one of the things that used to bug me. I ran a clinic, had 7 clinics, and I was the main dentist there. And it was just every time I had a patient, as soon as I finished, there'd be people waiting at the door. Hey, can I do this? What about this? This has happened. Someone's screaming at the front desk, and they're really carrying on. They're freaking out. And I kept on working harder and harder and harder. And as the business grew, more and more people kept on asking me more and more questions. Now, I don't know if you know the story of the canary in the mine. The canary in the mine in the old days is they'd have a canary in a deep underground mine when they were doing all the mining. And the canary, when the oxygen levels went low, unfortunately, it fell off its perch. As soon as that happened, that let the miners know they needed to get out of there. Now this one little technique, there's 4 steps that I'm going to go through. They're going to help you to work out how to scale your business. The only way you can scale your business is to scale your team. But if you're always answering everyone's questions, then you'll never be able to scale the business. And that's your canary in the mine. How many questions have you been answering in this last week? So there are 4 steps. I'm going to show them through you here. It's really, really simple. Now I learned this as a dentist. Now as a coach, there's a really simple formula to, and I learned it in coaching, but I learned it in dentistry first. Here's what happened. In this first step here, what I found was when I was in the clinic and I'm working away and I had a couple of minutes in between patients, my team would come and ask me the question, and initially I would answer those questions. But then what I did is I went, you know what, I'm sick of answering the question. I'm sick of being the brain here. You guys are smart enough, you can answer this question. And what I would do is, and let's give you an example. Quite often they'd say that I've got an irate client who's at the desk and we thought we had an appointment for them, but apparently they mixed up their dates and we weren't, we don't actually have an appointment for them. And so I'd say, all right, okay, so what are you going to do about it? And they kind of go, what? What do you mean? I said, what's your goal that you would like to achieve? So the first step in helping to empower your team is you don't come up with all the answers. You ask them, what's the goal? Because you know what? It's like the monkey, the negative monkey of this drama. As soon as they tell you, they pass it to you, then you're holding the monkey. You don't want to ever take that monkey. The first step is to remind them, okay, Mary, what's the goal you want to achieve out of this situation? They go, what are you talking about? Well, what's the goal? Well, so ultimately, what would you like to see happen with this patient? And they go, well, we'd like them to go away and we'd like them to go happy. Okay, great. So that's the goal we want to achieve. And then I say the next step is, okay, well, what's happened now? What's the reality of the situation? Now, generally speaking, that's where people start. Hey, I need this problem. I've got this thing going on. Yeah, hey, whoa, 1 second. What do you want to achieve out of the situation? What do you want to achieve? And then they go, okay, what's the situation? Well, he thought he had a booking, but we really don't have one, and we don't have any vacancies today. And so they go through, and he's really irate. And this was a real situation. He was in the mining industry, and he flew all the way down to have his dental appointment. So when he was mining, he was a fly-in, fly-out. He'd just flown in, he had a couple of days to get it done, and he had to fly back again. That was the reality of the situation. So I was like, okay, I understand that this is the reality. Then the next question is, all right, Mary, what are some options that you can do to help solve Bob and get him sorted out and to achieve the goal? And what do you mean? What options? Give me some options. What are some things you could do? Now here's the thing. There are always 3 options. Always 3 options. And if you've got someone on your team, you want to let them know there's always 3 options. One option is to do nothing. That's always the first option. But you want to make a deliberate decision to do nothing rather than just not making a decision and being apathetic about it. So you want to come up with some options. Now in this situation here, what are some options? So in this example, this is a real example, it was with Bob. It's like, great, well what we could do is later this afternoon, we could ring up one of our local patients and ask them if they'd like to be moved into another time slot. Okay, great, that's an option. So one is do nothing, tell him he's got to come back tomorrow when his appointment was actually due, because he made the mistake. Second option is, okay, great, we can move another patient. What's the next option? Okay, great. Well, first thing tomorrow morning, we have some emergency space, and what we can do is we can put him in there, because at that spot there, that's where it's just before he can catch his plane, he can get back into the mines. So we come up with 3 options. Then the next part of this in the options is coming to things, go, well, what's next? What's the next step? What's next? And so I then asked Mary, so Mary, which one of those options would you like to do? It's like, well, I don't know. Which one do you think I should do? Well, you know what? You're pretty smart. I reckon you can work out which is the best one. Now, in this situation, as it turned out, it was really irate. So Mary simply rang one of the patients late in the afternoon, who was a local, and said, hey, would you mind moving your time, and we'll see you tomorrow morning. And they were very happy to do that. So they came in and said, what's next? Now, here's the important part, is as a leader, as an entrepreneur, it's going to be really easy. You might want to jump in and give them, if you really need to give them a bit of nudge, you might ask questions. Well, what else do you think you could do? What about this? What about this? What about this? And then you ask them, what do you think you're going to do? Is let them make the decision. Now, here's the tricky part. Even if you know what you think the best decision is, and they give you a subset, they give you what you think is not really the best decision, let them go, let them do it, let them take the lessons and learning. And the interesting thing around this, they'll come back even better, and they'll be even more knowledgeable. One of the keys with this, what's next, is, hey Mary, go ahead and do option 2. Mary, when you've done that, come back to me and let me know how that went. So you want to make sure that you get a feedback loop. And what was interesting, even though I most times believed that I knew what the right answer was, and my team would do something different, they come back to me, and it was really interesting. They came back with different solutions to the ones that I was going to do, and often those solutions ended up with a better result. So you just never know. This is a way that you can, yes, by doing that, you might inspire them, but the true thing is you've empowered them. Not only that, they then are learning and they're growing. This is the GROW model, and this is coaching 101, but I learned it in dentistry. One of the things that we know is that sometimes this is the science, but the art of application is not always that easy. So we've got a private Facebook group of elite entrepreneurs who are getting out there and really scaling their businesses through their teams particularly. So if that's you, then click on the link. We'd love to see you in the group, because we're going to share you some of the tools, techniques, and some of the learnings that we've got that help businesses and entrepreneurs to really scale and to get true freedom in their businesses. And by getting the true freedom, they can wake up every day feeling joyful about their business and all the things that it's giving them, all the things it's giving their team, and all the things that it's giving to their clients.